Hello, happy greetings. My name is Marlena Rhinehart, and this is my Sustainable Design Shape the Future presentation. I'm a non-traditional student, so that means that I have been around the block. I was a fine art major at UTK, and I did a lot of large oil paintings and a lot of installations. And then outside of college, I held a lot of managerial positions and I had to be really creative about time management to realize goals. And I decided to become an interior designer to merge my skills and improve people's quality of life. I am deeply interested in universal design, which makes buildings accessible for everyone at all levels of society. And then another passion of mine is biophilic design, which brings natural elements into the interior environment. My interests in biophilic and universal design really spring from my personal ideology. I believe that there's hope for humanity, that we are all players in this game, and that we work together and we can make solutions to improve the world that we live in. Every positive action, no matter the size, is impactful. And you see here this little guy, he's going up these stairs, and these stairs, it's every step of the way. He's making a small step, but it's going to lead to something that's big. And I love this quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. There's a big question that we all have to ask when we're dealing with the idea of sustainable building. Do we have to choose between luxury or sustainability? They don't appear to be synonymous with one another. Luxury is indulgent, excessive, and all about individual enjoyment. On the other hand, sustainability asks one to sacrifice, to pare down, and to think of the good of the group. I've chosen to focus on the Bardessono Hotel that's found in the heart of Northern California's wine country, and it actually marries sustainability and luxury. This hotel was built in 2009 during the very beginnings of LEED certification, and at that time, it was the only LEED Platinum certified hotel in the US and one of 3 in the entire world. The owner who built Bardessono, he had the ideology that we can't just continue to talk about environmental problems. We have to begin to act aggressively and provide an example for others to benefit. And so pictured here is some of the standards that are a part of being LEED certified. Buildings have to comply with basic standards, but they also have these additional environmental standards to comply with for certification. And then everything from the beginning stages of creating site boundaries, handling waste, watershed, materials used, and then a subsequent 5-year verification of the building's energy and water consumption are all considered. So it is very rigorous, and you see here the different levels of certification. Well, with Bardessono having platinum ratings, it's at the very highest. And it's really amazing because to anyone who goes on the property, it wouldn't be really apparent that they've made all of these measures. All of the steps that they've taken to be sustainable, most of those steps are actually pretty invisible to a casual observer. And TripAdvisor even rated the hotel as one of the top 10 romantic hotels in the entire world. This is the Bartisono Hotel. I wish that we could all take a trip here and escape our current situation, but it is absolutely gorgeous and modern and very luxurious. The hotel is located in Napa Valley's city of Knoxville, which is 60 miles outside of San Francisco. Bartisono Hotel is a pretty large compound. The hotel has 62 rooms and suites, a restaurant bar named Lucy, a fabulous on-site spa, a fitness center, a rooftop pool, and about a little over 6,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor meeting space. During my research of the construction of this hotel, it was described as an army of builders on the construction site. But even though there is a lot of busyness going on, the construction management was environmentally conscious, and it was done with this model that they used. Each team, from design to construction, the owner and hotel management engineering team, they all had the same goal to merge luxury and sustainability. During construction, there was collaboration between the general contractor and all the many subcontractors that were on site. They were really engaged with it, and I actually read they were so engaged with it they started to bring brown paper bag lunches because they really wanted to be sustainable. Anyhow, 93% of the construction waste was recycled, which adds up to savings. And it also meant that they used what we would normally consider as waste as things that could be reclaimed and repurposed. And we'll see that later in the slides. Another big part of the construction is the way that they treated the site that they were on. They held the site back 35 feet from a neighboring wetland to prevent silting, and they also planted the landscaping with native plants, and that helped to support the ecosystem. Pictured here up top is a bit of the native plant landscaping that I was talking about. It is also drought tolerant, which means that their water efficiency is going to be great. They don't have to water it as much, and when they do water it, they use a drip irrigation system, which minimizes water waste. It's very efficient, and they also utilize it for their on-site organic garden. This garden supports the restaurant bar. They use the produce from it, and then the restaurant bar turns around, and whatever waste they have at the restaurant, it's composted for landscaping in the garden. The indoor component of their water efficiency are the choices that they've made with their fixtures. So the bathroom fixtures have low water flow. There are dual flush toilets and waterless urinals. The paper products that they use have a high recycled content. All the laundering, all the cleaning agents that are on site at the hotel are exclusively organic. And then the hotel's gray and black water is used for irrigation of the city and irrigation for the hotel. And I love this outdoor bath that they have that has a great privacy screen on one of the hotel room's patios. Materials and resources. So I'm going to take a step back in time in my presentation when I was talking about how little waste there actually was during the construction of this hotel. 93% of the waste was recycled, and as I was saying before, a lot of that actually ended up being items and furnishings within the hotel itself. The hotel site in Yountville, in wine country, actually had some above ground stone wine cellars from the 19th century. Well, they weren't being used anymore. So they took those apart stone by stone. It's called tufa limestone, that's local there. They took those blocks and they used them for the exterior walls. They actually can slice the tufa limestone into tiles. So on my first picture on the top left, you see it, that tufa stone detail. And then also in sight, they had these redwood wine casks, which were repurposed for ceilings. And then also in sight, they had some walnut trees that had stopped producing, and farmers had actually pulled those trees up. We're going to dispose of them. There are some pulled up cypress trees that they pulled to clear the site, which all would have gotten trashed. Well, those were used for doors, veneers, flooring, table slabs in the restaurant and in the hotel rooms, lobby. They use it for desks and more exterior space in the bottom right. You see some of that reclaimed salvaged wood. And then one of the coolest things that they did, they actually used the soil itself to create signage throughout the property. And I also saw some pictures of retaining walls as well as signage for the restaurant. And the rammed earth is made from creating a plywood form, and then a mixture of soil, water, and a little bit of cement are mixed together. That cures within that form. The form is removed, and then it leaves this really beautiful textural signage. And then apart from those things, everything that couldn't be sourced within 500 miles of the site, they tried their utmost to get things like glass and steel with high recycled content, and they also used cement with high fly ash content. The Bardesono Hotel uses very minimal off-site energy. 60% of a modern building's energy demand is actually from the heating and cooling, but the creators of this hotel took the large initial cost of creating geothermal energy sources on site. They drilled down about 300 feet. There are about 70 some odd of these wells, and the way it works is the water naturally lets go of some of the heat as it goes down into the earth, and cool air can be pulled up from it in the summertime. But then in the winter, the ground can be a bit warmer than outside conditions, so when that water goes down, it can pull up some of the warm heat and then warm the hotel site. It's also simultaneously preheats the potable water. The initial large cost is such a tremendous lifetime value because it costs 2/3 less than traditional electricity. Solar energy accounts for the other portion of the hotel's main energy source, and it is hidden. It is on the flat rooftops. There are about 900 solar panels. The architectural features come into play when it comes to the low energy consumption of the hotel. And to name just a few, those reflective solar panels on the rooftops minimize heat absorption. And then the overhangs that we see pictured here, they reduce the heat gain in the summer and allow for warmth in the winter. All of the glass, that high recycled content glass, is low E, so it lowers the temperature transfer. Interior blinds do very little on actually controlling the temperature in a room, so the builders decided to install exterior motor controlled Venetian blinds. as the first measure for temperature control within the buildings. There is an IP network driven occupancy sensor in each room. You know, the guests, staff, they can change the temperature. There's a board for it. But if nobody's in that room, there's no reason to pump so much heating, so much cooling into the room or have the lighting on. So that saves a lot of electricity. And then all of the large windows that they have in the hotel provide natural light, and that reduces the energy demand. Certainly, everyone goes on vacation to revive and to relax, and studies have shown that good indoor air quality reduces instances of illness and stress, and for the staff, it also helps to increase productivity. Because of indoor air quality's importance, it is one of the major factors in a hotel's LEED Platinum certification. So the measures that the Bardessono Hotel has taken, all the linens, and that includes this plush bedding that we see, and their terry cloth robes are made of organic fibers. All of the laundering, cleaning agents, and toiletries that the hotel provides are exclusively organic. All of the components within the building are low VOC finishes. The carpets are too, paints and adhesives are as well. And the rooms were really well ventilated. After construction and before the rooms were furnished, they brought in fans to help remove any residual off-gassing. And then those window banks that we've seen throughout this presentation, they are gorgeous views for the guests. And they bring in a lot of natural lighting, but they also provide great ventilation. All of the rooms have their own private patios, so they're used daily in bringing fresh air into the hotel. And then the designers decided to exclude fabric draperies and carpeting from the rooms, and doing both of those things, it helps to prevent dust mites and odors. So with all of these measures, the guests and the staff can breathe in fresh air with a peace of mind that their health has really been considered. And like the majority of the sustainability measures that the Bardessono Hotel implemented, these details are invisible under a casual inspection and are seamless extensions of the hotel's harmonious atmosphere. Luxury products function as industry models. The movement towards sustainable luxury has been a major component in its increasing availability and increasing consumer demand. The creators of the Bardessono Hotel aggressively enacted environmental change with a multitude of small measures within the paradigm of hotel luxury. The hotel's creators relied upon research, respecting the surrounding exterior spaces, and understanding that the lifetime value versus the initial cost of alternative energy sources is economically sound. Students of design, architecture, and engineering will one day have the power and responsibility to implement sustainability practices, and our actions will be a positive cultural catalyst.